If you're a procrastinator and you find that there's not enough hours in the day, then you definitely want to watch this video because I'm going to share some helpful tips on how you can prioritize and schedule your day. One of the catch-22s of being an entrepreneur is you could work when you want and work how much you want. And the flip side of that is you could also work as little as you want and there's really no one to hold you accountable. That's why it is so imperative that you are able to schedule your time, prioritize, and be disciplined about it. Now, with so many people working from home right now, nobody looking over your shoulder to see when you are or aren't working. Many people who are usually on a 9-to-5 schedule are now at home and they have the freedom and flexibility to work when they want or not work when they want. So I thought it would be valuable to share this information on how I prioritize and structure my days, because being a serial entrepreneur who at one time had 8 companies that I was running at the same time, I had to be very, very efficient with my time so I could be as effective as possible. So I want to share with you some helpful tips on how to prioritize your tasks, how to schedule them in, and how to get everything done while also maintaining a healthy balance in life. So first and foremost, I cannot stress this enough. It is so important that you schedule absolutely everything in. Now, I know you've probably heard that before from many high-performing entrepreneurs. However, it is so critical that you put every calendar event, personal, professional, recreational, anything that's happening, you put it in your phone. I even go as far as scheduling my meals when I know that, okay, if I don't book my meals in, I'm just gonna let my day overrun and not gonna end up eating the amount of meals that I need to. Now, when I say schedule everything in, I mean even if something pops up in between meetings, like you're going out for a coffee and all of a sudden you bump into someone and you take 20 minutes chatting with them, I'll even go into my calendar and put, chat with John, just so I at least have it in my calendar, just for the sake of, one, I can always reference back to see when I spoke to John. Also, I get in the habit of constantly putting things into my calendar. Now, many people say, oh yeah, no, I don't need to put it in my calendar. I just remember it. I can just, recall it in my memory when I have to go to that appointment or do that meeting. Now, while you may have a great memory and you might be able to retain this information, imagine your brain, your memory is like the hard drive on your computer and you only have so many terabytes. Well, if you're filling up, 500 gigabytes with all these meetings and appointments and to-dos and all these other tasks, then you're using up valuable hard drive space to remember a bunch of details that you don't necessarily need to. And we are not computers, we're human, which means we're going to forget things from time to time, and that can be stressful. And it's happened to all of us. We're in between meetings and all of a sudden we get a message, hey, are you running on time? And you're like, oh shit. And you all of a sudden remember, damn, I was supposed to be at that meeting at that time. Because you didn't put it into your calendar, you forget it. And it happens to the best of us. And then that can completely screw up and throw the rest of your day off. So that's why it's so important. Schedule everything. Schedule when you're going to the gym, when you're eating, when you have to call mom, when you have to meditate. I literally schedule everything in and I color code them. And why I color code them is because I can then see if personal time is green and then my work time is blue and my coaching clients are red, I can then look at my calendar by the week or by the month and see, okay, how much blue is there? How much green? How much red? How balanced are my weeks looking? Because often being an entrepreneur or being at home, working from home with no boss, nobody looking over your shoulder, we can really work a lot. And I've heard some people say this working at home thing is great because they're super productive. However, if you're just working, are you making time to go to the gym, go for a walk with your dog, to call your parents, read a book, doing those personal things that are super important to you. So when you can color code the different categories of your life, and you might have 3, 5, whatever it may be, categorize them, color code them, and then put them in their appropriate categories as you're scheduling your day. So then you can take a look at your week and see how balanced are you living. One thing I used to do is I used to book my appointments hour to hour with no space in between for a buffer that, well, not that we're traveling for meetings now, but you need a 5 to 10 minute buffer to wind the meeting down, and then you should give yourself at least 5 to 10 minutes between meetings so you can grab a snack, have a drink of water, go to the bathroom. Just give yourself that buffer, especially if you are traveling to meetings, anticipating that there will be some traffic or the meeting might run a few minutes over. And that way you're not feeling stressed and anxious going from meeting to meeting. Because we all know that feeling. You know, you're rushing to get to a meeting and you walk in and everybody's there waiting for you, and right away you feel disempowered. Right away you feel like, I'm late, sorry. You're walking in feeling small because you know that you didn't manage your time effectively, and now you're walking into a meeting behind schedule. However, you walk into a meeting early, you feel like you got your shit together, you feel like you're ready, you're in a good place, you're in an empowered state when you show up for a meeting ready. So setting a 10-minute timer that goes off so to start winding down the meeting is great as well, because then you get to say what you need to. You can close the meeting off, and then make sure that you're not rushed, and if there's anything left that needs to be said between you or the people you're meeting with, you could at least have that closure to the meeting so that you're not ending it abruptly. So how I start my weeks is I write down in 2 categories, primary and secondary, the things that need to get done that are time sensitive and highly valuable. And then the second list that are the things that if I have a little bit of time spare, I can bang them out in 10 to 20 minutes. These are the secondary things that may not require as much time and aren't super time sensitive, but are still important to me. So in one category, I've got my high priority items, and then in the second category, I've got the things that are important, but not quite as important. And then I look at my week and I schedule them in. When am I gonna work on that proposal? Schedule it in. When am I gonna follow up on that client? Put that in, and then the other stuff like buy dog food or edit photos or whatever it is, those smaller things I can schedule where I see I have breaks and I've already taken care of the big stuff. Now in prioritizing things, I think that 2 to 3 big items per day is good enough. Sometimes we load up our days so full that we look at our schedule and we're feeling absolutely overwhelmed. So 2 to 3 high priority items per day scheduled out throughout the week will give you that time to focus and get things done without feeling overwhelmed. So when you've got your list of high priority and secondary priority items listed, the next step is to time block. So as you take a look at your week, take a look at your list and ask, okay, how much time am I gonna need to create that proposal? 2 hours? Okay, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., I've blocked that time. That time is locked in, nothing is getting in that way. And then you look at your week and you block time where during that time you are completely laser focused and you're not going to allow any distractions to interrupt that time. That's why I say scheduling 2 to 3 high priority items per day is good enough, because when you're laser focused for 2 hours per task, it really takes a lot of mental energy. And if these are important items for you, you want to make sure that you're giving it your utmost focus. So you schedule based on time blocking throughout the week. And again, it's also important to time block time to go to the gym, time block time to go walk your dog, time block your personal matters, because those are so important. If all you're doing is grinding, working all day long, you're gonna feel exhausted, you're gonna feel resistant, and you're just not gonna love what you do. Now, one of the things that helps me get through those 2-hour chunks and not feel drained is I use something called the pomodoro technique. And what that is if I've got this 2-hour block where I am going to just be laser focused on working on a proposal, then I set the timer on my phone to 20 minutes. There's a stopwatch feature on most phones right now. And before I sit down, I turn on my do not disturb on my computer, on my phone. Sometimes I'll even turn off my Wi-Fi if I don't need to be online. And I hit that timer and I just go in. And for 20 minutes, I'm laser focused on that task. Even if I'd go to the bathroom, I'm like, no, I'll wait the 20 minutes, that's okay. I'm just gonna get this done. And close out all other windows on your laptop or computer. If you need to put your phone away, just put it on the kitchen counter or wherever near you, so it's just got the timer counting down, and be laser focused on the task at hand. When the timer goes off, you've got 5 minutes to do whatever you want. I like to grab a drink of water, go outside. I'll see Sammy sitting by the pool, rub her head a little bit, get some fresh air, and I'll come back in. If you can't go outside right now, you could use those 5 minutes to do a quick little yoga stretch routine. You could do some breathing. You can just lay down, take a quick 5-minute siesta. Those 5 minutes are for you to just recharge, relax, and then get back at your desk. 20 minutes, boom, go back in. I promise you, If you're working in a focused 2-hour chunk and you break it up into 20-minute sections, you are going to be highly effective. You'll notice that your brain is not getting fatigued, and that little 5 minutes to recharge every time has you coming back feeling fresh and focused. Procrastinating gets even the best of us. Now, when you find that there are certain items on your priority list that you're just not getting to, it's important to ask yourself, why am I feeling resistant to taking on these tasks? What is it about this that I don't want to do? Now, I'm going to suggest that those items that you maybe feel some resistance to, schedule those up at the top, because once you get through those, if it's earlier on in the day, you've got more focus, you're feeling more energized, more resilient. You could take those on at the beginning of the day, get them done, and then they're over with, and you can move on to the other tasks that maybe you find more enjoyable. However, if you're feeling resistant and you just keep pushing some tasks back over and over, then it's worth taking a look at what part of you is feeling this resistance, and is this task that you're trying to focus on really aligned with what you want for yourself, for your work, for your life. And maybe it's time to just reevaluate if this is something you should actually be doing, or you should delegate, or maybe it's just not aligned at all and you're forcing it. Forcing things to happen is very important to notice, that when you are forcing things and it is more difficult than it needs to be, and that it's not happening with ease and flow. Because often when we are feeling resistance and we have to force ourselves to do something, there's a misalignment there. When we love what we're doing, we feel it's really, really connected to what our goal is, then we find it enjoyable to do. That's when we're tapping into our own flow and we actually look forward to working on that task. So it's very important to check in and ask yourself, are you feeling resistance to this thing, or is it resonating for you? Are you trying to force it to make it happen, or is it happening in flow? Now, sticking to your schedule and making sure that you're getting things done when you need to can take a while. It requires you to train your discipline muscle. I like to say, discipline is like a muscle, just like going to the gym. If you don't use it, you don't train it on a regular basis, then it is going to get weak. It's going to even atrophy. So in the beginning, just like you'd go to the gym and hire a trainer to keep you accountable, it's great to have an accountability partner if you find that you keep falling off. If you can't stick to your schedule, if you're hitting your 20-minute timer, but you just can't seem to honor it, if you have a partner or someone you live with who can help keep you in check, ask for the help. If you don't have someone living in your house, you're on your own, and you want to make sure that you are staying on track with your list of priorities that you need to do, then you can ask a friend to check in with you at the end of every day to see how did you do with checking off the items on your list. And if you didn't get them done, have them push you a little as to why you didn't get it done. Having an accountability partner can make a huge difference to make sure that you're staying on track and managing your time the best way you can possibly. Now, it's really important that you also celebrate your wins, even the small wins. If you're able to get everything done on your day that you said you were going to, then celebrate. Give yourself something that you feel you deserve. Even if it's something small, just congratulate yourself, acknowledge that you got it done and that you're making progress. And then see, can you do this for 5 days in a row? And then at the end of the week, if you crushed your goals, you got everything done, celebrate again. You deserve it. In a society where multitasking seems to be the norm and everybody seems to suffer from ADHD, it is very difficult to just be laser focused for 20 minutes to 2 hours at a time. That's why using these techniques will help you prioritize, structure your day, give you a framework to get what you need to get done complete, and allow you to feel good about your small wins and the accomplishments and progress that you're making. Now, if you're a person that resists putting things into a schedule because you want to have your freedom and you don't want to be living by some schedule, scheduling actually gives you more freedom. And now that may sound like a complete contradiction, but this is why. Because if you're scheduling all of your tasks and you're getting everything booked in, and then you're giving yourself 2 to 3 hours of free time in the afternoon because you just want to go to the beach or go out with your family or do whatever it is that you like to do in your free time, then because you've gotten everything else done, those 2 to 3 hours are yours. You have complete freedom to do whatever you want with that time that you've blocked off for yourself. And one thing I hear from a lot of my clients who don't schedule things in and they just go with the flow, they wake up and they're doing things here, there, whatever, but there's no real structure, there's no real intention to their day. They're just going with whatever comes up. And by the end of the week, they look back at their week and they realize, wow, they weren't really as effective as they could have been. Then they start to feel guilty and remorseful that they didn't do a better job at managing their time. So now they've got to catch up on things that they didn't do over the weekend. Now, I know many of you watching this have some big goals in your life, and maybe some of you want to make some massive changes. You know, one of the things I've been asked about a lot lately is, okay, so I want to change careers, but I can't leave my job right now. But I want to, start to learn to work remotely. I want to start a new business. And you may have a full-time job. You may have 2 or 3 kids and a partner and a very busy life. And that is when it is going to be so important for you to know how to manage your time and prioritize. And it even means disrupting your usual schedule. Some people say, well, I'm not a morning person. And I always thought I was not a morning person either. When I worked in nightlife and restaurants, I used to go to bed at 2 or 3 in the morning and wake up at like 9 or 10. And now I'm going to bed at 9 or 10 and I'm waking up at 5 in the morning. And I'm doing that because it's important to me, and for me to enjoy my day to the fullest, I've had to restructure my days. So to learn that new skill, to take that new course, you're going to have to look at how can you restructure your days to make it happen. And I love the quote that says, to have something you never had, you're gonna have to do something you've never done. I might have got that wrong, but you get the gist of it, which means you may have to get up half an hour or an hour earlier than you normally do so that you can schedule your day so you can get that studying done for the course, or you can go for that training. You're gonna have to rearrange your day and disrupt your routine, which might be the same routine that you've had for the last 10 or 20 years if you want to be able to fit everything in. Being able to prioritize, schedule, and then stay laser focused on your tasks is absolutely essential if you want to make the most of your time and accomplish that big dream that you have. The things that you want aren't just gonna show up at your door. You have to be intentional. You have to allot the time and energy to get it done and be fully committed. Managing your time and staying focused when you're working at home or studying at home can be very difficult. However, you need to remember that end goal. What are you working towards? Is it that new house? Is it that new job that you've always wanted that you're taking a course for? Is it you need to do your research and put extra hours in because you want to move here to Costa Rica? Whatever your goal is, you have to stay committed to that vision. So when you're planning your day, when you're at your desk or on your couch, wherever it is that you're working, and you start to feel that distraction coming up, remind yourself, what is your end goal? What is your intention? What is it that you're creating for your life? And allow that to be the motivator to keep you laser focused. Download that photo of that house that you want or that location that you want to move to on your desktop screensaver or your phone home screen. Keep those images as a reminder of what is it that you're working towards, what is it that you need to be laser focused you can create for your life. So I promise you, if you schedule everything in your life into your calendar, if you prioritize and make sure you get the tough stuff done first, if you make sure that you balance your time so that you're doing stuff for your mind, body, soul, business, family as well, giving yourself allotted time to focus on the tasks at hand and breaking those up into 20-minute segments, I promise you, you will see some massive changes and you will be far more effective. And ask for help, have an accountability partner. Talk to someone about supporting you through the process, and after a few weeks, after a couple of months, you will be a time management ninja. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some value from it. I can't stress it enough. Managing your time is the key to success. As they say, time is the most valuable commodity in the world. Once it's gone, and we can't buy it back. Unless, of course, you subscribe to the theory that time is not linear and all time is happening at the exact same time, and that we can collapse timelines and live any moment at any point in time. But I'll save that for a whole other vlog. All right, so thanks for watching this video. I hope you got some value from what it is that I've shared. If you'd like to dive deeper in clarifying your goals, time management, and how to create a plan to really accomplish all that you want in life, then hit me up. I am a coach. I love to work with people and help them through this process. Send me a message or an email at z@zarkfatah.com and let's talk. Please share this video with anybody you know who may need some information on how to manage and prioritize their time. All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe, and if it's on Facebook or Instagram, not only hit like and share, but hit save. You gotta hit save on Instagram now, otherwise nobody will see this video. So save it and refer to it next time you're procrastinating or falling behind and you're like, oh, what did Zarek say again? And then you can watch my video. All right, thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.